Have you seen this yet? In the latest issue of Bassmaster magazine, there was an article titled "The Quiver Trap" by David Brown. Well, naturally I was curious and had to investigate this and share with you what I found. Now, this is the first time I have attempted this technique, rigging, fishing, etc. So if there's something I'm not doing correctly, well, that's not a surprise. If you happen to have experience with this, please share it with everyone down below. Essentially, the goal is to fish a soft plastic with a sideways motion, making it crab walk and send lots of ripples through the water. We'll look at the quiver trap from both above and below water, plus we'll look at it weightless and with a nail weight. I can definitely see the huge potential for this presentation, especially this time of year transitioning from summer to fall. Well, why? While bass are opportunistic and will devour most any prey species, they really start to get on bait fish right now. As we can see, this one sentence under the soft jerkbait presentation, it says, imitating a struggling baitfish. And of course, soft jerkbaits are amazing about anywhere with all types of cover. And the other thing this quiver trap does is mix in the fish calling attributes of a popper. Well, here the popper retrieve section talks about a baitfish in distress. When we think about these great qualities of the soft jerkbait and popper, we can easily see why this method has the potential to shine, at least I think so. For the lure, I used the new Z2 in the 7-inch model. The lure in the article looks a little bigger with a broader side to it, and I thought this lure fit the bill nicely. A floating plastic or more buoyant plastic is something you'll want to use to keep that lure in the upper part of the water column. Now, as I mentioned, I even used it without a nail weight to keep the ripples right near the surface. Now, as far as the hook, the article mentions T-boning it. It looked to me that this is how they rigged it, so the broadest side of the lure is creating the most resistance in the water. It also said to use something like braid to help keep the lure on top of the water, or braid to a leader, and I actually used a straight fluoro and it still worked well. I wanted to test that too, at least I thought so. But I can definitely see where braid to a leader would be better. Now here is the quiver trap rigging on the 7-inch Z2 from above the water. The first one is with a nail weight. As you can see, the lure is just below the surface and it pulls with a lot of resistance. The name quiver trap makes a lot of sense when you see it vibrate like this. Now here is the nail weighted lure from under the water. You can really see the quivering action now up close. And depending how fast you reel it in, naturally determines how far it will sink. And sometimes the lure, if you give it a good twitch, will roll the other direction too. Now here's the quiver trap from above the water without the nail weight. You can see how far the ripples work outward from the lure. While the article talks about the nail weighted version, I can picture myself using this like a topwater. Now here is the weightless version from under the surface. Once again, there is lots of quivering action. You want to T-bone the hook slightly towards the head of the lure to keep it pulling back in the most perpendicular manner as possible, but you'll have to play around with whatever you have rigged on here, but I definitely like this larger 7-inch lure. Now, as far as the retrieve goes, when I was experimenting and messing around with this, a straight reeling retrieve will create the kick we are looking for, but I naturally fell into the habit of giving the lure additional action by twitching the rod tip as I retrieved it. But I think this is going to be a fun visual presentation to experiment with. It will be interesting to see how creative anglers use this quiver trap and watch how it evolves. Thank you to the Deep Dive app for sponsoring this video. You can find out more information about them on the Google Play Store, the Apple Store, or you can follow the link down below in the description. And hey, if you would like to watch a video where I take my hydrophone, drop it in the water, and compare the differences in sound between the new rattling Thunder Cricket and the original What's Going On Under the Water, go ahead and check this one out right here. And make sure that you go out and encourage someone today. You never know how you might just change their life. For the Bass Fishing Life, I'm your host, Steve Rogers.